Thanks for joining me. My name is Rachel, and this is the first of what will hopefully be a weekly podcast. I figured it was a really good time to join because I have a recent finish that is a test knit for a shawl that is being released tomorrow. So I'm pretty excited about that. I've got something recent that is almost done. That's really exciting as well. And it was just Knit City, so I came home with some really fun things. So yeah, let's get into it. First, what I'm wearing, always the elephant in the room. And this is the My Favorite Adventure sweater by Tristan Molina of Dragon Horde Yarn. It is the second sweater that I've made of this. It's a really fun way to use up some of your mini skeins. I tested it for the first time, and this is the Advent from Tofino Knit Co. last year. So I got she was lovely and died of some extra of the main skein for me to hold all the way through. And the only change I made on this one was I held the main color dominant on the sleeves as well, which is not how it's written in the pattern. I followed it to pattern on my first one. I'm sure you'll see it soon. It's one of my other favorites to wear as well. So finishes. So this beautiful pattern is being released tomorrow, August 23rd. It is the Crescendo shawl by Mackenzie of Hanks and Needles. It is this beautiful cabled shawl. So the cable border goes along one entire side, and then it's garter for the rest of the shawl. So it gives you a really fun break in the middle with the cables to keep your mind at ease, and then full ribbing along the bottom. The yarn is from Granui & Co. from Nova Scotia, and the colorway is Umber. I used basically the entirety of 3 full skeins for this one. So it's a really nicely sized shawl, blocks out beautifully, and it's a really fun base. So on to works in progress. So the one that is closest to being finished right now is my Twisted T-Shorts by Brianna Lupino of the Little Wolf Knits. This is in a bag by Fates and Threads that I got in the New Year's Eve box from Fantasy Fibers, because if you know me, you know I am obsessed with all of the things that Marissa does, so of course I had to get her a mystery New Year's Eve box. So this is it. So I was lucky enough to get my hands on the opening day bouquet from Polka Dot Creek for the new Cochrane store, which I am also lucky enough to work in now. Please come visit. It's a lot of fun, and it's a beautiful little store. But I've used mine for a pair of shorts. Super, super fun. I definitely sized up more than I should have. So definitely size down from what you think you're going to need, because they're going to be super, super cozy, but they are definitely a little too big. So I am into the final ribbing on the legs. I will hopefully finish these today and be able to block them and wear them because they're going to be so, so cozy. There's a bit of a theme going on here, stripes today, but these are all 10-gram minis, and they go so much further than you think that they would. It is some of the most popular colors. Got some really cool ones in there, like Lagoon, there's Glow Sticks, Funfetti, I Smell Snow, which you'll be seeing again very shortly here with my upcoming whips. Yeah, there's some really fun ones in here. I'm going to be using just 18 of them, so there's going to be 10 extras. So we'll figure out what to do with those, because they're all so fun. But I'm so excited about being able to wear these soon, because they're so cute. The needle stoppers are really fun ones for all my fantasy nerds out there. You know what they say about wingspan. Yeah, they're from Pine & Pro. Next, speaking of Tristan from Dragon Horde Yarn, basically anytime she releases a test, I hop right on it because her patterns are beautiful and fit everyone really, really well. If you are plus size or smaller, give her a try if you haven't. Her sweaters are incredible, and she grades them beautifully and makes sure that they are thoroughly tested as well as tech edited. So definitely a designer I 100% stand behind from top to bottom. This is the newest test. It's going to be a loungewear set. It looks so cute. I am doing this as a sample for Marissa Fantasy Fibers. This is in her Morally Grey Decay base. So it is Sleeping Death as the contrast and Envy as the main color. So this is going to be the Bryce sweater. It's a super cute, loungy sweatshirt style, cropped, but the sleeves are really nice and fitted. So it's not going to be one of those way oversized tops with a couple of stripes in the cuff. It's so stinking cute. I'm just working my way on the second sleeve right now. But yeah, it is so cute and it's going to look so good on her. I'm so excited for it. Yeah, so again, that one should be done soon as well. So I've got some plans in the works on what's coming up next. My last current whip is another sample from Marissa, Fantasy Fibers, and this is on her Morally Grey fingering base. So the Morally Grey is a yak blend, yak merino silk blend, and it is so soft. If you haven't tried it, you definitely should. This is the Birch sweater by Andrea Mowry. It's again getting close to the end there. I'm just working my way down the sleeves. The whole sweater is done in a half fisherman's rib. It takes forever, but looks so pretty. Yeah, body is all done on that one. Just working my way down the sleeves. And she has ridiculously long arms, so the sleeves take a while for her. But yeah, that is the 3 projects that I'm working on right now. I don't even have scrappy socks on the go at the moment, which is not normal for me. Because I just finished a pair not too long ago and haven't started a new one yet. So because all of my projects are getting close to the end, I've started planning on what I've got upcoming. So I thought I'd pull a couple things out that I've been casting on pretty quick and show you some of those. So again, both of the new projects that I've got planned are going to be with Polka Dot Creek yarn. Just started working there a couple of weeks ago, and I'm pretty excited by what they have in store. I have one of these is something I've had for a little while, and one is brand spanking new. But yeah, I keep getting so tempted by everything that is in the store, and I wanted to work with some of it now rather than later. So this is the I Smell Snow sock set. So the sock sets are really nice. They come with a main skein and 2 minis, so you get 140 grams and it goes a lot farther. You can make 2 full pairs of socks of this, or in my case, I am doing a brand new pattern. It is the Cami pattern by Alicia Plummer. So it should get, even with my size, this will work for the whole camisole, which is super cool. So something to do with those sock sets that you don't know what to do with, because even though I make a million socks, I'm also really good at buying sock sets. So gotta find something else to do with them for once in a while. Speaking of sock sets, because I have a problem, Shelly of Polka Dot Creek is really good at self-striping, and she was really mean and brought all of the Halloween yarn in early to the Cochrane store when we opened, and I have a serious obsession with fall themed colors and fall themed everything, so I'm very excited to work with some of them, and this is the one that I decided to work with first. It is Hocus Pocus 2. So it's a slightly moodier version based on Hocus Pocus 2, and then the mini is Cauldron. So all of our sock sets are 50 grams and come with the mini, and just makes it a lot more affordable, which is really nice as well. Because self-striping can be expensive because it is a ridiculously difficult process to do. So doing the 50 grams is plenty for a pair of socks. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to do socks, or Knit Graffiti just released a brand new cowl that looks pretty tempting too. So I might end up doing that with this instead. I will wind it up today and see where my brain goes. So, Knit City was this weekend. I was better than I have been at a lot of shows in the past, but I did bring home some pretty fun things. So the yarn coming in is going to be a little bit more than hopefully you'll see over the next little while. I've been trying to be good because if you couldn't tell by what is surrounding me, I have a pretty healthy yarn collection already, and a lot of it is really, really pretty, so I want to be able to knit with that too. I'm lucky enough to be able to know and work with a lot of hand dyers, so I get first dibs on a lot of beautiful, beautiful yarn, and I take full advantage of that, not gonna lie. The only thing I have right now that is not from Knit City, this beautiful yarn was just staring at me for way too long, is again, Polka Dot Creek, the tweed fingering. Tweed, obviously, is something that I love. This is Eucalyptus, which is a nice little bright green. It's actually showing up pretty good with the light that's coming in from outside right now. Yeah, Eucalyptus on tweed fingering. So it will be a sweater. Not sure which one, but it was the last 4 skeins that we had, so I couldn't help myself. Now getting into the actual Knit City things. Yeah, there's a lot of really, really fun dyers. I know there's a lot of really great people that have done some run-throughs of it. It was the first time it was in Calgary, so it was really exciting to be able to go to Knit City again, even though I have since moved. Yeah, so first one, anytime Lily and Pine does a show colorway, I have zero self-control because it is all so pretty, and when you tell me I can't get something later, it's a pretty good chance that I will buy it now. So this was the Lily and Pine show colorway this year called Big Sky. That one's gonna be, there's a lot more neon yellow in here than is showing up. But otherwise it's showing pretty accurate, so you just can't really see the highlighter yellow in there, but it's so stinking pretty. Yeah, I would try to get things on Sockway because it just means that there's a lot more options. So I can use it for socks or I can not use it for socks, but I always like having the option of socks because socks are so much fun. And I'm easily talked into a sock test knit, so having a lot of options for that on hand is really, really great. I was really excited to see Leo and Roxy there. I've had a bunch of their yarn before. Their colorways are beautiful and their bases are really stable. I've got a couple sweaters that I've made in their yarn and it holds up really, really well. I know a lot of sock yarns can be iffy, but their base is fantastic. This is a set for the Painted Pebbles shawl. I probably won't use it for the Painted Pebbles, but the colorways are just so pretty, especially this boucle. So it's a boucle and then a sock skein. But there's just so many beautiful colors in this boucle. I could not leave it there. It just kept calling to me. And then another skein that's close-ish to this one. It's not exactly the same, but I couldn't help myself. So I figured, hoping to be able to use 3 of these for a sweater. So probably some kind of color work on a t-shirt probably, because 3 skeins for a full-length sweater can be iffy in my size, but if I do a t-shirt, it's usually more than enough. So I'm thinking something color works, use this for the color work, and then these 2 for the body, and just fade between the 2. Because they're close enough that it should fade in together pretty well. So, the next one is from Fireweed Fiber Co., my friend Erin. They came at me pretty hard with this year's Knit City colorway for Calgary. If you know me at all, you probably know that I am a bit obsessed with dinosaurs. Won't apologize for it. I love them. They're fantastic. But this year's colorway from Erin is Albertosaurus. Got these beautiful neutrals. There's like the beige base with some tans in there, a little bit of speckling here and there of something darker, a little bit of like charcoaly brown, like dark chocolate color. It's so, so pretty. And it was the only skein left, so I had to do it. And it's a 50% superwash merino, 50% silk. There's sycamore sock base. It's so pretty. And it's so soft, you guys. Like, so soft. I haven't tried this base from her before, which is a shock, because I have a lot of her yarn. But the sheen to it is just so pretty. You can kind of see it a little bit there from that silk. It is absolutely beautiful. So, again, I'm not sure what I'm going to make with it yet. I think I'll do a really pretty single skein shawl, so I might have to give that one a try with this one, because the drape on that is going to be incredible. And yeah, because it was Shelley and Polka Dot Creek had a bigger booth this year because they were part sponsors for Knit City Calgary. So her mom, Penny of Creek Garden Crafts, came and brought these adorable bags. Very nice and Halloweeny. It's kind of like in between a project bag and a notions bag. I will probably shove all of my notions in here for one of them, or it could be my new purse bag for a bit, because mine I'm getting a little bored with because I've had it for too long. So this one might be the replacement. It's got this really cool rainbow zipper on it. It is absolutely beautiful and fits with the fabric so well. Like, come on, metallic colorful rainbow zipper, please. Yes, had to do that one. It is absolutely beautiful. And then the last one, I knew I shouldn't have gone anywhere near the Fipley Dye Works booth. I have 2 sweater quantities already, as well as a couple single skeins, and it all falls into the realm of too pretty to work with for me very quickly. But this one almost literally had my name on it. It says Rachel. It's spelled wrong, but it says Rachel. So, and with those burgundies and golds with the gray base, there's no way I could leave that there. And it was the last skein they had on their BFL sock. So this one will probably wind up as a hat for me because it's very much a me color. Like, come on, that one I can actually do next to my face. So this will hopefully be a hat sometime in the next year, because I'm finally somewhere where it is cold enough to wear hats, at least for part of the year. Because I overheat a lot, so fingering weight sweaters and everything is basically how I live my life. And they had a couple of really cool pom-poms, so I couldn't do it. They do faux fur pom-poms, which I really, really love. And there's ones that come with little ties, so you can just tie them on, so you can still wash your knits, which is a really big thing for me. These are the yarn bowler pom-poms. You can see their little information there on the back of the pom-pom. Yeah, so I got the burgundy, of course. You get the little more like the purple end of the burgundy, which is really nice, and then black. Yeah, those should be really fun as well. Yeah, so like I said, a little bit more than I have been used to buying lately. Probably my... Oh, I missed one thing. It's a little handmade version of the Cordsmith I-cord machine. So I borrowed one from one of the other girls who works at Polka Dot Creek to finish the bind off for my Crescendo shawl, because it's an I-cord bind off and those things take forever. But you can do them with these little guys. You can kind of see the little hooks. They're like kind of like a knitting machine hooks, and they just make it so much faster. So this is from Purple Gecko Studio, who is local, and she had her items at the Lily and Pine booth this year. So I snatched that up pretty quick. She had some really fun options for colorways too. Because yeah, if you're going to buy something, why not buy it in a fun color? So yeah, that's everything that I grabbed this year from Knit City. I think it was a pretty successful one. I got some beautiful, beautiful yarn, and I didn't go too overboard, which for me is impressive. I was also lucky enough to take a class with Megan Nodecker of Pip and Pin for designing a drop shoulder cardigan. It was a really, really great class. She's such a good teacher, and she was so patient and willing to help us out with absolutely anything, which was really, really great of her. If you have an opportunity to take a class with her, I highly recommend it, and if not, make one of her designs, because they are also fantastic. Yeah, that's basically all I've got. I will kind of show you around my background here. I figured that sitting on the floor in front of my yarn collection would make for the best possible background for all of you yarny people. I do keep a good portion of my yarn in Ziploc bags just to keep it safe. I live in Calgary now, but I was living in Vancouver, and there's a bit of a moth problem out there. So I know a lot of my hand knits from previous years do have some holes in them that I still need to fix. Slowly working on it, I swear. But so a lot of it is in bags for its own protection and to keep larger quantities together and keep it a little under control. Because if you squish the air out, you can fit more yarn on a shelf. And that is the place that I'm in right now, where I kind of really need to. So you can kind of see a lot of it here. So this is some of my lace weight and Surrey, all the fuzzy things. Some fun ones here. I've got a skein of the Farmer's Daughter on their Oh Dang, which is their cereal alpaca base. And then again, Fantasy Fibers, everything. This is her Harbinger. I'm going to do a sweater with this one, and I think I'm going to use it for the Lace and Fade Boxy with one of her old Pie Day colorways. It's so good. But the Harbinger is like the perfect black. I think I have it on every base that she dyed it on. Because again, it's the perfect black. Up here, you can kind of see the tail end of some of them is most of my DK and worsted. I don't have a ton of worsted, so it just lives with my DK because, again, I use mostly fingering, so that's 80% of my yarn collection. You can't really see the bottoms here, so I'll talk about that another time. Up here is my hand spun. I do occasionally spin. I do mostly knit. I'm trying to get back into the habit of spinning more because I have a lot of fiber that I really want to work through. The biggest problem that I've run into is that I enjoy spinning very different things that I like to knit with. So when it comes to spinning, all of the super fun colorways, like that is from Erin of Lily and Pine. We've got some fun stuff from Fireweed Fibrico in there as well. I really like the bright colors to spin with because I find it so much more fun. But that's not what I like to knit with and wear. So that is the problem that I've come onto. So I do tend to use a lot of it for color work and things like that. But when you're not going to use most of what you spin, it's really hard to get super into it. And then the two bottom shelves directly behind me, as well as the two bins below, are all of my sweater quantities. I knit a lot of sweaters. I counted for one of the ladies at the new job because she was asking how many sweaters I've made. Apparently the answer is currently 41 and counting, because obviously there's 2 more that are almost done. Yeah, there's a lot of sweater quantities up here. You can see a few more of them there. Yeah, so I've got a lot of things that are coming up soon, hopefully. And then up here is all of my single skeins of sock yarn and fingering weight yarn in general. I'm really bad for buying single skeins of things, but I do occasionally work them up together. So a lot of them work really well together because I do definitely have a palette that I enjoy to use. So it's really fun to be able to mix and match those for whatever comes up. But yeah, thank you for joining. I really hope that you had fun looking at what I've got going on and things like that. I'm really excited to be able to bring this out and finally got the nerve to come and talk to you all, because it's intimidating to put yourself out there. But some of the yarn that I work with and some of the patterns that I am lucky enough to test make it really, really easy to be a little bit more there. Yeah, thank you. I'll see you next week. Bye. And just because who doesn't like the furry ones, this is Nova. She's one of my 3 dogs. Yes, I have 3. She is our oldest. She is 11 and a half. And look at Nova, look at the camera. She is beautiful. Come here, you. But yeah, hey, come here. She just wants to sit on my lap. All she ever does is want to sit on top of us. But yeah, I'll try to introduce you to one of them every once in a while because they are sweet. But of course she is first because she's the only one who can stay quiet, locked in a room with me. Thank you. Bye.